Today's topic is serious. Some very well-known scientists were attributed opinions which they never accepted, sometimes during their lifetime, but even after their death. In the list of scholars betrayed by posterity, you find top-ranked scientists such as Newton, Maxwell, and Einstein. This not only poses a moral problem, but also can lead science to a wrong way, because the notoriety of these people can create an erroneous consensus. And we create a false history of science that convinces students easily, because it is usually mixed with the technical material of the courses. The list of such terrible distortions is quite long, and it does not concern minor things. Let's have a look. 1. Newton. I learned from a text by Pierre Duhem written in 1906 that Newton is considered the father of Anglo-Saxon science, which excludes the search for causes by focusing attention on mechanisms. For example, it has been claimed that Newton didn't care about the cause of gravity, and that for him his formula solved everything, which is false. Newton did not believe in forces acting at a distance, but he knew that the cause of gravity would remain unknown for a long time. He was right since it is still the case today. 2. Maxwell. Maxwell's equations are valid in the presence of a luminiferous ether, which was generally believed in Maxwell's time. We are told that the existence of the ether was invalidated by the Michelson and Morley experiment on the speed of light. And now we use Maxwell's equation associated with absurd quantities like the permittivity of the vacuum considered as nothingness. It is obviously a betrayal of the spirit of Maxwell's equations. 3. Michelson received the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1907 for extremely precise measurements that were claimed to invalidate the existence of the ether and confirm the basic hypothesis of special relativity. But Michelson was never really convinced by this interpretation of his results. 4. De Broglie, Schrödinger, and Einstein. De Broglie enabled the birth of quantum mechanics by introducing the wave-particle duality in his thesis. This work may have been partly motivated by his research on radio waves at the Eiffel Tower during World War I. We must consider de Broglie as the father of quantum mechanics, since he introduced the wave function. Schrödinger introduced an equation in 1926 intended to explain the movement of electrons, in which he prioritizes the wave aspect over the particle aspect, indicating from the outset that it is only an approximation. After the Solvay Conference of 1927, it was decided, against the advice of Schrödinger, as well as de Broglie and Einstein, to consider that Schrödinger's equation represents reality and that it implies the unpredictability of the movement of elementary particles. Dirac and Heisenberg became the leaders of the new quantum mechanics, imposing the existence of superposed states and the uncertainty principle. Einstein and Schrödinger never accepted this point of view, and de Broglie always insisted that the photon would require further studies to try to understand its very particular nature. 5. Schrödinger again. Not believing in superimposed states, Schrödinger created his half-dead, half-alive cat gag to show the absurdity of the concept. However, the Schrödinger's cat is now used to supposedly explain superimposed states. You can't imagine a worse betrayal. 6. Edwin Hubble discovered the redshift of distant galaxies, interpreted as an expansion of space between galaxies, formerly referred to as the flight of spiral nebulae. This interpretation was consistent with the Big Bang theory conceived by Georges Lemaitre following the discovery of particular solutions to the equations of general relativity. But Hubble did not agree with this interpretation, and referring to the Hubble law to denote the supposed expansion of space is a clear deception. 7. Einstein again. Einstein did not believe in the physical reality of black holes, considering that the Schwarzschild solution of the equations of general relativity was a kind of limit case, not achievable with real matter. But today it is said that Einstein's general relativity predicted the existence of black holes, which is twice false, because on one hand black holes were imagined long before relativity, and on the other hand relativity does not impose the existence of black holes, since a particular solution of Einstein's equation may not exist in the real universe without contradicting the theory. Conclusion. I find it quite disturbing that we often have a mix of scientific information and simplifying distortions in the physics courses or communications intended for the general public. If during your readings you have come across similar deceptions, please feel free to mention them in the comments.